Hello everybody, this is Skip Elshammer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show. It's Monday, it's Martin Luther King Day, and so some of you have the day off. Even when we have the day off, we still like to show you films, and whenever possible I like to show them to you live. So today, complete coincidence, we were moving some films back into the film vault and this film popped up. So here is Martin Luther King Jr. This is a film by Encyclopedia Britannica, and it's made during this time period where they barely animated films about black people in history. And it was kind of this weird, like, 1971. So anyways, here it is. Enjoy.
King is the man, O Lord, you have sent to lead us out of Egypt. With these words, a fellow minister introduced him on the night of April 3rd, 1968. Martin Luther King gave an inspiring speech on that fateful night in Memphis, the last speech of life. He spoke of difficult days ahead, of his vision of the mountaintop, the vision of his people reaching the promised land. But perhaps without him. His words were prophetic. The next day he was shot and killed by an assassin's bullet. There were millions who shared his faith and would try to keep his spirit alive. There were others who honored the man, but doubted his vision. And there were some who struck back in rage, setting the ghettos ablaze all over the nation. To those who grieved that he died so young, is the consoling thought, it is the quality and not the quantity of time that is the measurement of worthwhile service. The short life of Dr. Martin Luther King had confirmed that belief. In less than a dozen years, he had moved from the pulpit of a small southern church to the center of the world stage to play the leading role in a social revolution, and gave new hope and self-respect to poor and oppressed people all over the world. King's career had changed direction abruptly on December 1st, 1955. Mrs. Rosa Parks of Montgomery, Alabama, was arrested for refusing to give up her bus seat to a white man. Her defiance of the law and traditions of the South began an astonishing chain of events. Overnight, leaflets and telephone calls notified riders of a boycott of the city's buses. With King in charge, the successful strike continued day after day, and empty buses went their lonely rounds. The fury of white racism now exploded. The lives of boycott leaders were threatened. Their homes were bombed. With 89 others, King was arrested for conspiracy against the bus company. They were all promptly convicted and fined. The strikers did not get their demands, but in November 1956, the Supreme Court struck down Alabama's bus segregation laws, setting the stage for a full-scale social revolution in the South. The scholarly Dr. King had based his philosophy on nonviolent resistance, on the teachings of Jesus, of Thoreau, and Gandhi. He had added something of the spirit of generations of black preachers born in slavery. This compassionate, and forgiving philosophy was soon to be put to the test. As president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, King was now spokesman for 16 million black people. To draw attention to their cause, he planned protest marches, always to be kept peaceful and orderly. He supported student sit-ins at lunch counters and backed the Freedom Riders who risked their lives in the service of equality and justice. In 1963, Dr. King led more than 3,000 demonstrators through the streets of Birmingham, Alabama, to face fire hoses, police dogs, and jail. Here, as in other target cities, he invited a crisis. He expected outbreaks of white violence and police brutality to shock the nation. While jailed in Birmingham, King learned that certain ministers were urging the people to give up the unwise and untimely demonstrations. But he was determined to push for freedom in Birmingham and in the nation, because America was founded on the principle of freedom. During the March on Washington in 1963, King led the way with other dedicated leaders. Later, in a keynote address, he urged review of the promises of democracy to do away with injustice and join the ranks of brotherhood. As spokesman for international peace and brotherhood, King was honored by people of many nations, many races and creeds. He received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 and donated the cash award of $54,000 to civil rights activities. As leader in the battle for just laws, he shared in a victory when President Lyndon Johnson signed the powerful Civil Rights Act of 1964. But at the peak of his fame, King's influence on the civil rights movement was fading. A growing number of blacks were turning to more militant leaders. In a drive to register new voters in 1965 and 1966, King led a series of mass marches through Alabama and Mississippi. In Mississippi, the leaders of the three leading civil rights organizations marched arm in arm for the last time. Soon, militant leaders, completely rejecting nonviolence, launched a broad drive for black power. During the long, hot summers between 1964 and 1967, violent uprisings broke out in more than 50 cities across the nation. Dr. King's work was becoming increasingly difficult. To expose the misery that caused northern cities to explode, King moved into the slums of Chicago in 1966. His demonstrations caused no trouble, but some politicians, white and black, called him an outside agitator. When he preached against violence, as he did in the Watts Uprising in 1965, young militants mockingly called him Delord. And for his nationwide crusade to end the war in Vietnam, he was accused of promoting draft evasion. In the last year of his life, Dr. King was often discouraged by the disunity of black leaders and the hypocrisy of whites. But still, he declared his faith in the non-violent method of protest. Truth and brotherly love were still the best weapons in the quest for equality. To the thousands who gathered in Atlanta to make his last tragic march, the greatest of all, Mrs. King urged the people to keep his spirit alive, to carry on and on.
Right, so that one was mostly still images, employing what we now call the Ken Burns effect, where we just pan across still photography or imagery. And so other films in this series, which look at like Harriet Tubman and Benjamin Banneker, they were all illustrations that were being panned over and not really animated. So my take is that this was a budgetary thing, that they just cranked this out. They're like, oh crap, we need to do this. We could shoot a bunch of footage, but you know what? We got a bunch of illustrations. Let's just knock it out. All right. Snow Monkeys of Japan. Enjoy.
In these mountains west of Tokyo, the monkeys descend on their daily trek to the hot springs of Jigokudani. The snow monkeys are one of 30 species in the world, but they've developed some extraordinary habits. In 1963, a youngster from this band discovered the comforts of bathing in these hot springs. Gradually, others followed, and by 1970, all the members had joined into this unique custom. The young love to play. But even in play, they're learning skills they'll need as adults in defense of the band. The snow monkeys wash much of their food, even these apples brought by the photographer. In winter, their normal diet of roots, wild chestnuts, and occasional insects is restricted to the more accessible cedar buds and bark. Constant grooming is not only a sign of loyalty and love, it also keeps the fur clear of twigs and burrs. During the afternoon, there's time to rest and sleep on the sun-warmed rocks. When the guard male signals by shaking this tree, the band moves quickly towards hidden nesting grounds. The snow monkeys are gone. Silence descends until next morning's return.
Okay, so I have a new intern working today, and I was teaching her how to use the rewinds. Good times. All right, next film. I showed this 5 years ago. This is How to Be a Friend. Enjoy.
This leader to focus the picture and adjust the sound volume. The film will then be ready for correct projection.
What do we mean by the word friendship? I remember reading somewhere that Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The only way to have a friend is to be one." Well, maybe we all have our own meaning. But what about making friends? And just as important, keeping them.
What is friendship? Well, for one thing, friendship is sharing. Sharing activities, interests, or even different opinions.
Here, let me show you. It's kind of tricky.
Friends offer something to each other.
Hey, I guess it's all in knowing how.
Friendship is sharing. Friendship is sharing. A friendship is people together and caring.
A real friendship helps us grow as a person because it's based on trust and respect for each other.
How are you doing?
Well, I wrote this composition. Do you think you could give me your honest opinion on it?
I was glad to help Trish. She sure helped me with my composition.
I have a feeling this isn't quite right here.
You know, you should switch these two around.
Trust and respect, respect and trust. A friendship must have respect and trust.
Where to meet new people is easy. Interesting people are everywhere. But how do you make friends?
It might mean that you have to make the first move. You can't always expect the other person to. Some people are shy or not very outgoing. By introducing yourself, you might open up a whole new world that didn't exist before. That's how I met Brenda.
Hi. You look puzzled. What's the subject?
Algebra 2. I'm having trouble with logarithms.
Oh, they can be tough. I had that class last semester. Let's see if I can help you.
Gee, thanks. That'd be great. In getting to know people, be understanding of the way they might be different from you, just as we'd expect others to be understanding of us. Jean and I are really good friends, but we have different ideas on a lot of things.
You know, Brenda, I think it'd look better if it was a little longer.
Could be, but I think I like it the way it is, since it is a summer dress.
Well, I'm not sure I agree, but that's how we'll do it.
Friends share their secrets, fears, doubts, hopes, because they know a friend will respect their thoughts or offer sincere advice.
Well, Trish, all you have to do is ask her if she really said it.
Yeah, I guess the simplest way's the best.
Sure, Trish. Then you'll get it straightened out.
I think I'll talk to her.
Sure.
Sharing our secrets, our hopes and doubts. A friendship lets our feelings come out.
A friend can offer a different point of view or new information on something that we might not see on our own. Friends help us to learn.
Since we're working on your bike, we might as well oil the chain. It'll ride quieter, and it'll keep it from rusting.
That's a good idea. I never thought of that. I should really do it more often.
Here, let me show you the way I do it.
Great.
Learning and growing, mutual and sharing. A friendship is people together and caring.
Many people limit their friendships without realizing it. They miss many possibilities with excuses like, she's too old, or he's not my type. It's true that not everyone can be a best friend, but those kinds of excuses close off chances for new friendships. You don't know unless you try, and you may be surprised at the friends you'll make and the things you'll learn.
Here's the camera I used to use.
Wow.
I would like you to see some of the pictures I took with
Oh,
it.
great. Boy, these are nice.
Aren't they lovely, pure? See how clear they are.
Those are nice.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yes.
That little boy, he won't be forgotten, I guess. Well, he's getting older. He's getting older. Just look there. Isn't that comical?
Yeah.
That's just some picture. And here's where I used to go to school.
A friendship works both ways. One person doesn't rule over the other. They respect each other's rights.
Brenda!
Brenda. Hi. Since you're going that way, I was wondering if you could drop this off at the library deposit for me. It's due today, and it looks like I won't be able to make it.
Gee, I'd really like to, Jean, but I have to catch the bus downtown. It'd be out of my way enough that I might miss the bus.
No problem. I should have done it yesterday. I'll see you later, then.
Bye, Jean.
Bye-bye.
A friendship is equal one to another. A friendship does not obligate one another.
Keeping friends is something that has to be worked at. For instance, I keep in touch with friends who have moved away, even if it's just a note to say hi.
It doesn't take much to keep in touch between friends.
Friends show their concern and support for each other. Just being nearby can be enough. As when Jeff was sick one time. Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
Don, hello. I think I'll live.
Here, I brought you a magazine.
Thanks.
Listen, you better get well soon. We got a big football game coming up.
Concern and caring, concern and caring. Friends grow together by mutually sharing.
Jean and I respect each other's privacy.
Would it be okay if you didn't come over tonight? I have some things to do that really can't wait.
Sure. Call me tomorrow. We can get together then.
Great. I'll see you for lunch.
Friends are able to let each other go if the time comes. People change over the years, and sometimes you may no longer have the same interests. Shelley and I were able to admit this. It's better to remember the good friendship we had in the past, instead of trying to force it to still be in the present. People change and needs change.
Friends give thoughtful help when it's needed. Just because Brenda didn't ask for it, didn't mean that she couldn't use it. Say, Brenda, a bunch of us are going to the park. I stopped by to see if you'd like to come along.
I'd love to, Jean, but I told my mom I'd have the kitchen cleaned before she got home.
Oh. Well, I'll help, and then we can both go.
That'd be great. Thanks, Jean. Why don't you grab a towel?
All right. Where's that chick? She's the ship's
Friends understand when a helping hand could mean a lot to someone.
Friends are truthful, but polite with each other. They can be open and honest and know that the other person will understand. You know, you were kind of rude to Bob the other day, Don. He was a little upset.
How do you mean?
Well, the argument you had at the meeting. He had a point to make and you weren't listening.
Yeah, I guess I did get pretty loud.
Maybe you should call him up. He thinks you're mad at him.
Yeah, I think I will. Thanks.
Friends are truthful with each other.
A good friend is patient and sensitive. When Trisha's father was in the hospital a few months ago, she was pretty upset.
Sometimes I just feel like I don't care about my classes or anything. You know, it's hard to take.
Sure it is. I know how you feel, Trish.
Yeah. I guess you know how it is. I remember when your mom got in that car accident.
Sure, things work out. Come on, let's go have lunch. Come on.
I think it was the English poet Samuel Johnson who wrote, "To let a friendship die away by negligence and silence is certainly not wise."
Friendship isn't something to take for granted. It's an active process, a growth between other people and ourselves.
It requires effort on our part to make friends, to keep friends, and above all, to be a friend.
I think 1978 is way too late for that soundtrack. Like, we should be in disco. We should be in something else. Like, that's too far. That's my take on it. It seems like some of you also agree. So this is a 60 minutes episode. I don't think this will get us in trouble, but here we go. Here we go. Enjoy. It's not an entire episode, it's just a segment. This is Invisible Handicap, Dyslexia.
The Invisible Handicap. Einstein had it, Woodrow Wilson had it. The great French sculptor Auguste Rodin had it. Vice President Rockefeller has it. And what doctors don't know about it could fill volumes. Perhaps 10 million school children suffer from it, and if it's diagnosed early, they can learn to cope with it.
Tomorrow morning you wake up and your shoe is missing. What do you have to do?
Find it.
Okay, find it. And let's put that one to the left of new. To the left of new. Where did you put find?
On the right side of new.
I would like you to put it on the left side of new.
Jim, would you make me the word tap?
Yes.
Tap. Okay, Jim, say that word that you made.
Tip.
These children are not retarded. They are not mentally defective in any way. Yet as 8, 9, or 10-year-olds, they are way behind in the skills we tend to associate with intelligence. Simple reading, recognizing by instinct right from left. But they all have normal IQs. What they are afflicted with are learning disabilities. The message sent to the brain becomes garbled in transmission.
Douglas, I notice your letters are getting all mixed up in your desk. Could you put them in a row again so it'll be easy for you to find them?
What these teachers are trying to do is get them to overcome their disability with special education. The specific reading problem is called dyslexia. It's next to impossible to show you how a dyslexic sees printed matter, but it might be something like this. Take a simple sentence. The cat was on the hat. It might be seen as this, or as this. Or the same person might another time see it this way. What happens is the natural instinct to scan a word in a conventional sequence gets short-circuited. Beyond difficulty in reading, dyslexic children are usually awkward physically, become easily frustrated by not being able to accomplish both the academic and physical skills of other children. This is the Vanguard School, a private school in Paoli, Pennsylvania.
You know, 78% or so of the kids who come to a school like this are klutzes. I mean, they're clumsy, they trip over a pebble, they bump into doors, they knock teacups over and all of this. Well, these kids have been used to all of their life, parents and teachers and relatives criticizing them.
All right, bring it in. Okay, come on.
Run down, Brad! Run down, Brad! Get ready!
If a kid's out on the playing field and he's klutzy and he can't catch a ball and it just hits him in the chest or hits him right in the face, in the first place he's hurt, in second place he's embarrassed, and in the third place he is a peculiar kid whom the other kids start to laugh at, tease, and even revile. And if we can improve his skill, and we know we can do that, then we're doing something that will help his self-esteem immeasurably.
The things like the softball that was mandatory and the basketball in gym in high school were really awful. They're great. I couldn't.
Kathy Rice is 24 years old, a dyslexic who can barely read. She remembers the frustrations of childhood.
And I'm standing there for the longest time swinging at these balls. And the longer it got, I'm sure I wasn't getting any closer. And pretty soon I couldn't even see the ball because my eyes were tearing up. You know, I was starting to cry. I just felt so frustrated, like what am I ever going to do? I'm going to run into people like this. I can remember that afternoon thinking that if dyslexia means this, I might as well just hang it up right now.
Many failures in machine parts can be traced to disregard of this important consideration.
See Article 4.
Kathy Rice's difficulty is that she processes written information very slowly. She reads like a 6-year-old and can only do it for a few minutes at a time. But there's nothing wrong with her ability to understand and remember the spoken word. So she learns what she has to learn on audio tapes. Kathy Rice has managed to live with her disability and is an A student of all things, engineering at Columbia University.
Delta 2 all the way up to delta J. All right, so it will be a J by 1 matrix. But since it's in 2 dimensions...
When I'm writing, I seem to get things mixed up. So right after I write something, I read over it while I still remember what I meant to write, make sure I got that. If I read over it later, it's more difficult for me to read it. Just about as difficult as it would be for me to read a normal book. It's not... I don't remember what it is, and I have to figure out each word. Like with and from, I get those mixed up. They don't look alike, and I can't say why, but when I'm reading, I have to concentrate to take each word as it comes and look at the letters and figure out what it is. If I go by this recognition, I'm quite often wrong.
To get an idea of what happens when a dyslexic like Kathy does read, we asked her to take a diagnostic test with Dr. Howard Millman, a psychologist who specializes in learning disabilities.
Administered resuscitation to the thief.
Other patients might have difficulty with spoken language or with simple arithmetic problems. But mostly they are visual difficulties that vary from patient to patient, and even within the same patient. There's nothing wrong with their eyes. It's in the message that the eyes send. Parents of dyslexics often assume that their children are stupid or just don't try hard enough. Dr. Millman has designed a test for parents, a little frustration box that demonstrates how a dyslexic child might see things. The task is to trace a line between the double lines and the star, but you must look in mirrors, which reverse left and right and up and down. It's next to impossible on the first go, and to make it more difficult, the doctor plays the role of a nagging parent.
Come on, most of the reporters do much better than this.
Is that supposed to relax me?
No.
Remember, my sense of direction is confused because it's all done with mirrors.
Try to stay in the boundaries.
Come on, Sarah. What happens? How do parents respond to this difficulty with a child?
They put pressure on the child to learn better, and it takes many forms. Do extra homework. They try to sit down and help the child, and if the child, in fact, does have learning disabilities, that process almost always leads to failure.
But what was the effect on you when you were 5, 6, 7 years old?
Most of the time I came out with the wrong words, you know. Of course, I remember the wrong ones, I guess, more than the right ones. So I was very timid about even making any attempt because I knew that I didn't recognize these things, you know. And I can't even remember trying to figure out which side of the page we were reading from. I felt that, you know, the other kids didn't like me. Some of the teachers I knew were trying to be understanding, but what they were trying to make me do was so impossible for me. I didn't know why, but even I knew it just was impossible.
Unidentified learning difficulties almost always is accompanied by emotional difficulties. And in a sense, the person can eventually become a marginal member of society, a recluse, a person who is not at all functioning up to the talents that they do have because of some specific learning disability that's prevented them from learning in the normal way, in the usual manner.
Mop.
What's this, Mike?
Up.
Is this what's this letter here?
A B.
Yes, it is a B.
This is Mike. He's 7 years old, in public school in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, where they have special classes for children with learning disabilities. Look at him and you get an inkling of the frustration in a child who sees things differently.
Now B.
Up.
Ub. Put an M.
Mob.
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 Do you know what a mob is? You have a crowd of people, a whole lot of people. That's a mob, all right?
But Mike is a lucky boy. He's in one of the few public schools that offer special classes. Most states have laws that make it compulsory to give learning disabled children the right to special education. But few states have the money for it. So the chances are that children like Mike, and it's estimated that there are at least 2 million of them, get shunted to the back of the class, treated as dunces, have personality problems, become delinquent, cast-offs because they can't learn in a conventional way.
The problem in finding an LD child is that you first of all have to have very careful diagnosis, and it requires more than just simply an IQ test. This means a great deal more emphasis upon psychological evaluation, psychiatric, neurological, and so on. This requires larger staffs than we presently have available to us to really find these youngsters. And then the case is, if we find them, will the resources be available to teach them? We're not quite sure. It's a matter of funds, really. I think the technology is there. It's a limited technology, but it's still there, and we certainly could do more than we're doing.
If parents are concerned enough, they can send children to one of a number of state-assisted private schools that have proved that disabled children can be taught to learn and think their own way and become as successful as anyone. They're taught to feel the shape of language.
Square. Very good. And it is a square, isn't it? Do you see it, Josh? Very good. So you're ready. Close your eyes. Dig in.
A circle?
Very good. And it is a circle.
We try in every way we can to build up a sense of worth, his feeling of confidence, by giving him at the same time an attitude towards himself that he is a successful learner who has a place for himself in the world, who can overcome the deficiencies that have made it difficult for him to adjust to regular classrooms, ordinary teachers who don't acknowledge and teach to his individual learning style.
But you showed them all when you top of the class.
Well, yes, in a way, I did. I was awfully proud of that, but there's more to being a high school student than grades, a lot more. And what I wished is that I could be popular. My older sister was a cheerleader. That's what I wished.
So you were valedictorian in high school. You're now at Columbia University. You're married. What sort of problems do you have around the house? I mean, can you cook a dinner? Can you read a recipe?
I've had some dinners that went directly to the garbage, not even as leftovers. A recipe that would call for rice would either specify cooked or uncooked normally, and I just don't notice. Cooked and uncooked look about the same to me. And I can remember one recipe calling for cooked rice. I put in uncooked rice, cooked it, put it together with some liquid ingredients in the oven for about 15 minutes, and there wasn't enough liquid to do the rice anyway, which of course it came out, it was like crunchy, only you couldn't bite through it. You couldn't cut through it. It was awful. That went out. That went in the garbage. I got very good directions before I ever went into Columbia. I was scared to drive into New York because I have trouble reading road signs. I go by them. Well, sure, I can figure out what's up there, but I might have to pull over to do it. If you can imagine that in New York traffic, it wouldn't be a good idea, you know, so I just go cruising by all these signs and quite often can't pick up what's on them. Or if I'm looking for a specific thing like the George Washington Bridge, and I know I'm looking for a sign for that, I can look at all these big green signs, and when I see the one that has the George Washington Bridge, usually I'll recognize it. Now, if they abbreviate it, they can mess me up. If they put GW Bridge, the word Washington is not there, I'll go right past it. I have to work a little harder at some things than other people do, but I feel I can do almost anything I really want to do. don't let dyslexia or anybody get you down about it. It's a lot easier said than done, but it's not all that bad, especially if it's diagnosed early. And in my case, I don't feel it was diagnosed early. And if you suspect you might have it, I'd suggest you run right out and be tested. And once you find out you do have it, it's something to be pleased. You were born with it. It's not like it just happened yesterday, and you should be sad you all of a sudden got it. You've had it all your life, and now you realize it, and you're just lucky that you know about it.
So CBS distributed a lot of the segments, the 60-minute segments, for classroom distribution, and they did it through Carousel Films. So I have quite a few episodes with the segments, and then I actually have like full episodes that were made for, Armed Forces television. So I have some early 60 minutes episodes. I haven't watched any of them though, because I don't know, 60 minutes. And it doesn't have Andy Rooney, I'm sure. Okay, so where are we? It's time for a family film by our good friends at Family Films. Enjoy.
Nowadays, seems like everybody's riding round and round on the rim of the wheel. Me, I like to ride close to the axle. That way, you don't get shook up so bad. Can't understand why so many folks spend so much time and energy on the rim of the wheel, when it's so much simpler and easier to stay right close to the axle. I know time is flying, so many things to do today, but just how important are those important things? Nowadays, seems like some folks are always on the go, always in a hurry, always in a hurry to get somewhere, always in a hurry to get nowhere. That's just the way it was with Virginia Sutton.
Rosalie. Look at these clothes. How many times must I tell you not to hang the colored pieces with Mr. Sutton's white shirts? Can't you ever learn?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Sutton. I scrubbed the colored pieces so hard I forgot what you said about the white shirts.
Well, it's inexcusable, Rosalie. I don't think I'll be needing you any longer.
Mrs. Sutton, when my mother passed on, you told me I could take her place.
I know I did, but I have to have efficient help, Rosalie. I'm too busy to be here all the time to show you how to do everything. Good afternoon, Virginia. How are you? Hello, Mrs. Hammond. Oh, what a day. This morning I had to help Kent out at the office. Then I dashed over for PTA. After that there was a committee meeting. Tonight it's hobby club. And I still have to get dinner ready.
Virginia, you're all upset. It's been such a hot day. Let me make you some lemonade.
Oh, that sounds so good. But I just don't dare
Well,
take the
it'll
time.
be another half hour before your boys come home from school. Just long enough to relax a bit. Do come.
I think I will. Thank you.
Do sit down, dear. Relax.
That looks good.
Have a cookie.
These are delicious. You must show me how to make them.
Well, I'll be delighted. But you're always so very busy.
Oh, you can say that again. Frankly, I just don't know where my time goes.
By the way, I've been wanting to talk to you about some plans for our Bible classes. But you're not up to it now, are you, dear?
Please, not today, Mrs. Hammond. I'm sorry. It's just that things seem to pile up so. Frankly, I've even been thinking I might have to give up some of my church activities in order...
Oh, Virginia, it can't possibly be that bad.
Well, you just don't realize. I never have a minute to myself. Tell me, how did you ever manage when your 4 girls were growing up?
Oh, by putting first things first. You know, Virginia, many of us spend most of our time doing things which really don't matter.
That's almost a sermon.
Well, I didn't mean it to be, dear. It's just that, well, it has helped me, and I'd like to pass it on to you. I could never have managed without that formula. I couldn't manage now without it. Not a day ever passes but that I have a quiet period of communion with God. And whatever the amount of time I've spent has been more than compensated by...
Save me some lemonade?
Of course, Dad. Come, sit here with us.
How are you, Mr. Dickerson?
Oh, fair of middling.
Please do sit down, Dad.
No, I'll take mine with me. I can't abide women, especially gallivanting women. I'll be back for dinner.
Well, that's the first time I've ever been called gallivanting.
Oh, you mustn't take what Dad says seriously. Honestly, I don't know which is the harder to manage. 80-year-old Dad Dickerson or 9-year-old Tommy.
Tommy's your husband's nephew, isn't he?
Yes. He was orphaned when he was 2.
You know, it's very kind of you to make a home for both your father and Tommy.
Well, after a house full of girls, it's nice having a boy to raise.
Which reminds me, it's time for Billy and Johnny to come home. I've got to run.
Johnny, you slice that while I cut this. Yeah, let's have church at nursing, huh? Okay.
Johnny! Can't you boys leave things alone? Johnny, that loaf was for supper.
Can't we even have a teeny-weeny piece, please, Mom?
No, dear, no. Look at this mess.
Let me tell you about the ball game, Mom.
Not now, honey, not now.
What's wrong, Mom? Don't you feel good?
Of course I do, dear. It's just that I'm in a hurry to get supper. Here, this should hold you till then. Now scoot outside and play. Ken, I wish you wouldn't whistle in the house.
Okay, darling.
And you must talk to the boys about messing up this kitchen. When I came in, here they were with immense knives trying to cut some bread. You should have seen the mess Johnny made with the ketchup all over the floor.
Oh, Jenny, you're taking it too seriously. How'd it go this afternoon?
Oh, what a day.
Full afternoon, huh?
So full, I'm going in circles. Here, give me a hand with this, will you?
What's the big hurry, Jenny? But it isn't even 6 o'clock yet.
No, I still have to hurry. Hobby club tonight.
Why not pass it up?
Oh, I can't. Not tonight. Jean Silva will be there. Think of all the pointers I can get from her on my painting. Hey, would you get the boys in now and have them wash up for dinner? And don't dilly-dally with them. I can't be late for this meeting.
Okay, honey.
May we please be excused? Can we go watch television, Mom?
I suppose so.
Go ahead, you're excused.
Come on.
By the way, we'll need another girl. I had to let Rosalie go.
You what?
Kent, I simply couldn't stand her any longer. She just can't do anything right.
You'll find it hard to get another girl as honest or as good with the children. Besides, Rosalie's Della's daughter.
Honey, I can't help it if Della's been with your family and Rosalie happens to be her daughter. I simply couldn't put up with her inefficiencies any longer.
But couldn't you be a little more patient? Couldn't you try to teach her to...
Honey, I haven't the time.
Yes, I know. Maybe you ought to slow down, Jenny. Maybe you're putting too much emphasis on some things, not enough on others.
Another sermon. That's twice today.
What do you mean, another sermon? I don't get it.
No, it's nothing, I guess. I still have to dress. Honey, would you stack up the dishes, please?
Yeah, sure. I'll wash them after I put the boys to bed.
Oh, you don't have to do that. I can do them in the morning. And don't let the boys stay up too late, huh?
Groan and grunt. Groan and grunt, grunt and groan. Virginia Sutton, where were you last night?
At a club meeting. Why?
Well, if you ask me, I think you're doing too much silly gallivanting.
But I didn't ask you.
But I'm telling you, you're,
Sorry, I haven't the time. I'm in a hurry.
Having time, always in a hurry. So much time spent on the flesh, but nothing on the spirit.
Now, look here, Dad Dickerson. I think
Now,
that
don't you look here, Dad Dixon, to me, young lady. It's about time you realize that life's something to be appreciated, to be lived, enjoyed. You can't do it when you're always on edge, always ready to snap at something. Now, you've got a fine husband, and young ones, too. Now, it seems to me that you ought to...
Can't get me! That I can! That I can!
Billy, Johnny, look at this.
I'm sorry, Mom. It was only an accident.
Accident. It was just plain carelessness, inexcusable carelessness. Now, you get back in the house and sit in a chair till I tell you you can get up.
Hi, sweet.
Oh, hi, honey. Here.
What's for dinner?
I didn't have a chance to go to the store. This is catch as catch can.
So I see. More can than catch, huh?
Don't be like that. After all, I can't do the impossible, you know. Besides, we'll be having a snack later at the country club.
At the country club?
Oh, I made a date with the Tylers. We're meeting them at 8.
Well, could we phone the Tylers up and call it off tonight?
Oh, we can't do that. You know we need all those social contacts for your business.
Yes, I suppose so. But there are times when I'd like to stay home and relax a bit. Just with you and the children.
Oh, so would I. But in this day and age, you've got to keep going.
I wonder. We're on the go so much, I'm beginning to feel like a kangaroo on a pogo stick.
Well, would you rather be like the Davises, always struggling to make ends meet?
No, I guess not. I know we have to think about the children and their future and... Say, what about the children?
What about them?
Well, since you let Rosalie go, who's going to stay with them tonight?
Oh, Mrs. Hammond next door. She's going to babysit with them.
Oh. Well, if you can stand the pace, I guess I can.
Hey, Hoppy, are you all right? Yeah. Good.
you boys give Mrs. Hammond any trouble. It was very kind of her agreeing to come over, so I don't want to hear any bad reports. And I told her that you were nice.
That must be her now.
Evening.
Good evening.
Dad Dickerson, isn't Mrs. Hammond coming?
I had unexpected company. Told me to come over and look after the young'uns. She'll be over just as soon as she's free.
Well, do you think you can handle the boys all right?
Well, now, that's a mighty fine-looking western village you have there. Mighty fine. All except maybe that, post office.
What's the matter with it, Mr. Dickerson?
Well, now, I never saw a post office like that when I was out west.
Was you out west? Did you fight Indians and bad men?
I sure did. Fought lots of bad men.
Will you tell us about it?
Whoa.
What kind of guns did you shoot them with?
Well, now, son, I didn't use a gun. I fought 'em with a book.
A book? How can you fight rustlers and bad men with a book?
Well, there's one book that's more powerful than all your gun shooting. That's the Bible. You see, you can shoot a bad man, but you can never kill whatever it is that made him become bad in the first place. But the Bible can do more than bullets can.
Now, you be good boys, and remember, in bed by 9.
Yes, sure, Mom. Oh, Mommy, look what you've done.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. It was an accident.
But you ruined it.
But, your ma said it was an accident. Didn't she, son?
Oh, come on now, boys. Don't be such crybabies. Why don't you and Mr. Dickerson go in the kitchen and get that cardboard box and make another one?
Sure, and while we're about it, we'll fix that post office, too. Then I'll tell you about Rawhide Pete, the day that he and I had the battle. He was 2 6-shooters, and me was just a Bible. You know, he rode through a street just like that, headed for my mining camp. When he got there, he looked up, and all he saw, there you are, son.
You know something, Mr. Dickerson? You're a swell babysitter.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you came instead of Mrs. Hammond.
Well, that's nice of you, boys. Hey, wait a minute. Don't you boys say your prayers?
Yeah, after we're in bed.
Oh, after you're in bed. Supposing tonight we say them the way they ought to be. This day is over, Lord, and we thank you for the blessings. We thank thee for saving us from our sins and sorrows. Save us by day and guard us by night, and lead us ever onward through the mercy of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Dickerson, if it hurts, why do you pray on your knees?
Well, that's the only way to pray, son. Leastwise for me. Keeps reminding me to be humble and submit myself to the will of the Lord. All right, now, into bed, come on. That's it. Tomorrow's another day. There you are, son. Now, wrap yourself up, and I'll tell you about Rawhide Pete's brother Pinto. Good night. Good morning.
Good morning.
I called to get the knitting my daughter left here last night.
Oh, yes, I'll get it for you. And I want to thank you for staying with the boys until she could come over.
Oh, don't thank me. It's a pity you couldn't have stayed here last night and see the pleasure I got out of it. By the way, what time did you get home last night?
Now, look here, Dad Dickerson.
Now, don't you look here, Dad Dickerson, to me, young lady. I know what I'm talking about. Now, you listen to me. My daughter was just like you are, always gallivanting.
Mrs. Hammond?
That's right. Years back, she was just like you are today. Always running after something not worth running after. Always on edge. Always on the go. Trying to gather a little quicksilver. Now, don't you think that you ought to stop all of this and get off the rim of the wheel?
The rim of the wheel?
That's right. Get off the rim and get closer to the axle. To be close to God and at peace.
How can anybody be at peace nowadays? This is a troubled world. And
Troubled world, fiddlesticks. This same old world has been troubled for the last 2,000 years. But Jesus was at peace, wasn't he? Don't you think that you're paying too much for what you're getting?
Maybe. But in this day and age, you've got to keep going or you'll be left by the wayside. It's the modern tempo. Well, even our minister is always urging us to do more than we can.
But doing more for God and the church is a heap different than riding that merry-go-round you're on.
But our business and social activities are part of our lives, too.
True, but there's a happy medium to everything, young lady. Look at you. You're all tuckered out. One step ahead of a fit. Soon you're going to have that man of yours in the same fit. And them young ones, too. Now, you don't want that, do you? You know something? You get off the rim of that wheel and get close to the axle. You won't get shook up so much. Now, look at me. I'm an old man, but I've always lived close to the Lord. Close to the center, the axle. And he's blessed me with many years, happy years of peace and contentment. You too can be at peace with the Lord and the world. Now, there's no need of... Well, maybe there is too. You just have a cry. A good cry. You tell the Lord all about it.
How long is it going to take now?
Oh, just a few minutes.
Oh, boy, that looks scrumptious. Dad's going to like that.
I'm sure he will. No, I think that's all right. Go ahead and start. Hello, honey.
Hi, I'm aboard. Hey, what's for supper?
Supper's super tonight. Supper's swell.
Why don't you take a look?
Let's go, Johnny. Come on out.
Things seem different around here lately. Everything seems more, peaceful and quiet.
Well, that's because the Suttons are no longer riding the rim of the wheel.
The rim of the wheel?
It took me a while to make up my mind to get off the merry-go-round. But believe me, from now on, we're putting first things first.
You know, I like the way things are working out around here.
So do I. Thanks to old Dad Dickerson, bless his heart.
Dad Dickerson?
Mm-hmm. He's the one who helped me get off the rim of the wheel. As he puts it, stay close to the axle.
Yes, sir. Stay close to the axle. That way you don't get shook up so bad. That way you, too, can be at peace with God and with the world.
Oop. Sorry. I'm playing with a new 8mm gate, and so it's a problem. Okay, so real quick, I mean, obviously I'm way over time. I submitted a video appeal to YouTube because they were threatening to demonetize my channel. So why is that important? I mean, I certainly do this, and I don't do this for the money, but the money doesn't hurt. It helps with paying for storage units, for paying for shelves, for paying for all this stuff. And so if they took that away, that's like 20 or 30 grand a year that goes away, and that's hard. So I submitted this appeal. It's only 6 minutes long, and it gives you the gist of what we do and how we do it and why we do it. Enjoy. Hello, I'm Skip Alzheimer, and this is the AV Geeks 16mm channel. We are referring to our channel, which is at youtube.com/@AVGeeks. AV Geeks refers to audiovisual geeks. And what we do is we maintain a collection of over 30,000 16mm films. These are films that were deemed obsolete by schools, by libraries, and they were destined to be thrown out, and we rescued them, and we are archiving them, and we have them in our film vault. Some of them, at least, we're moving them to our film vault. But I want to show you kind of the process of what we do, and just show you some films in the film vault, etc. So here is our film vault. This is just a portion of the 30,000 films that we have in our collection, and I'm going to walk backwards here. You can see these are all 16mm film reels, and I'm going to pull a film. This is actually on an old format. It's from 1949. It's about mountain farmers in Switzerland. And so we're going to take this and we're going to go upstairs and we're going to put it on the scanner, and I'll show you the process of what we do. So here we have the film on our scanner, and it is going through frame by frame, being captured with the soundtrack. And we are going through and doing some preservation work on it, adjusting the levels, trying to adjust the dirt and scratches a little bit. Some of these films are pretty beat up. So here we bring it into Resolve, which allows us to do some adjusting of the color and the depth. This is a black and white image, so it's not so, but we can boost the gamma a little bit. And so we're making creative decisions as far as this content goes. We can also apply some filters which will allow us to clean up some of the dust and the dirt that's from the physical media. So, we spend some time doing this to make it look as good as it possibly can. So that's just a portion of the process. There's more. There's film prep, where we have to actually inspect the film to make sure that it is okay to be scanned. We put leader on the front and the tail of it. All of this is very resource intensive. And so ad revenue helps pay for this process. It helps pay for buying physical things like tape, like splicing leader. It helps pay off the scanner, which we're still paying off. It helps pay volunteers and employees. It helps pay for storage. All of this are things that help us fulfill our mission, which is to give access to these materials, which were destined to be thrown away or were sitting on shelves. This is all content that hasn't seen the light of day in the 21st century, and so we're introducing new eyes and new ears to this content, and that is our mission, is to give access to this material. There's engagement related to this. So the two ways that I release this material, one way is via a lunchtime show that I do live, where we stream and we put stuff from another scanner that we have, and we share that online, and people comment, and I talk about where the film came from, the historical context of it, or cultural context of it, then we also release individual films so that people can share the materials. And this material oftentimes gets semi-viral, where people share it with a community, and this community says, hey, that's our town back in the 1950s, like let's look and see what changed. Filmmakers have found their materials on here. People have found themselves in the films, or relatives. These are all ways that we are providing new material. Even though the material itself is old and we're not making it, we're going through the process of making it available and giving access on YouTube, which YouTube is great for this. This is what we feel like is an important partner. And so I hope you think that is also important. And if it's not, like, give us some pointers. Like, what can we do to make it more in line with what you're looking to do? We don't want to do anything clickbaity. We don't want to do anything that distracts from the actual content itself, because the content is very important and it is of a time, and we don't want to change it too much to make it basically it's not honoring when and why the film was made. And so I look forward, hopefully this is an appeal and you'll agree with me. If not, we're not going to stop putting content on YouTube. It's just we'll have to do it slower, because we're going to have to figure out other ways to raise money to do it. Thank you so much. Okay, so they accepted it. They said yes. So I am monetized. The YouTube channel is monetized. I don't know what part of what I did. Maybe it was just the fact that I was a human being and not some AI thing. They were like, oh, cool. So thanks so much for what you do, which is watch and comment and share. Hit the thumbs up. And I don't know. Hopefully I won't have to worry about this again for another 10 years. Everybody